It's a question that I've been asked several times over the years, and it's a simple question. Where did you get that? I've never seen that before, or I've heard of it, but I never actually saw one. Or, hey, I've seen pictures of those. I know somebody else that had it. I've only seen it a few times over the years, but where did you get yours? Well, that's what we're going to talk about. Records, rap records in particular, that you just don't see that often. Maybe they have eluded you. Maybe it was a release that was pressed and it just never came on your radar. Who's to say? But today, as you can see, we're going to talk about not only my favorite rap group in the world, but the greatest rap group in the world, RUN-DMC. Now, my RUN-DMC vinyl collection is pretty awesome, if I do say so myself. But there are a few that maybe you guys haven't seen before, or maybe you just haven't seen them in a while. I want to talk about a few of those. Now, while looking through my collection, I was thinking I could easily make a few videos of these. But I've actually made, a few videos already that feature a lot of my RUN-DMC records. So, one of the very first videos where I talked about my RUN-DMC records was a video called My Top 10 Rarest RUN-DMC Records. So there might be maybe one or so from that list that I'm going to show you again. But if you want to see some other really, really cool RUN-DMC records that you definitely don't see too often, you want to check out that video. I'm going to try to remember to put the link down below. Otherwise, it's simply called My Top 10 Rarest RUN-DMC Records. Check that out. Let's get started. I pulled out 10 records, and we just going to talk about them, all right? So this first record I want to show you was actually a Profile Records compilation, because we know RUN-DMC for the longest was on Profile Records. This one is simply called Rap 2. Now, I believe there was a Rap 1, I'm assuming, since this one is 2, and it's basically just a Profile Records compilation album where they put different artists all on an album. So on this album, there's like at least 3 RUN-DMC songs on here. There's also a Spider D, Placing the Beat is on here. Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, Fast Life, Pumpkin, and Profile All Stars, Here Comes the Beat. That's a classic right there. Cool Kyle, I met Cool Kyle in the Bronx. And Billy Bill, the Old School. And the rest, the other 3 were RUN-DMC records. Now, the reason why I actually bought this record is because there's a song on here called Here We Go, Live at the Funhouse. I hope you can see that. Live at the Funhouse. Here we go. Here we go. You know, that live version of that song. And this was the only place that I could find that actual song. Not only was this the only place, I mean, it did appear on a promo only 12-inch way back in the day when it came out. And this was like 85, I believe. This was, yeah, 1985. And it was dropped right around the same time, give or take a year, but it was promo only. I've never seen it out, in the wild before, and I've never seen one online for less than $100. Like, never. I'm not ready to spend $100. I've been searching for it. I'm sure I'll come across it eventually, but for the time being, I'll settle for it being on here. But this is so far my only record that features Here We Go. They probably or may have put it on like one of the modern box sets that they've released. I think they've released like 2 or 3 over the years at least, and it might be on one of those, but I want an original promo. I would love to have that, but for the time being, this will do. But yeah, I know some of the old school heads that are like around my age definitely remember this album from back in the day. I haven't seen one of these in forever, forever. I as much as I dig, I've never seen one of these out in a while. So I don't know. I don't think they're most of these records don't have a whole lot of value. They're not super expensive to find. Some of them are, like this next one I'm about to show you. But most of them, are not, you could go find them tomorrow online for a few bucks here and there. But yeah, that's the first one I want to show you. Now this next one, I've spoken about this probably a handful of times in different videos for different reasons. But this is a RUN-DMC bootleg. This is RUN-DMC, Black History, and Slow and Low. This was a bootleg released in 2009. It was 200 copies. It was a white label, stamped and handwritten, numbered. There was 200 copies pressed. That's it. It's on clear vinyl, and it features a song. I'm going to tell this story again. I've said it so many times, but back in 1985, the Jerry Curl Company, the Jerry Curls that, we all used to wear back then, they did a promotion for Black History Month in 1985. And at the time, if you bought a Jerry Curl kit, there was a cassette inside of it that had a song by RUN-DMC called Black History. And pretty much that is what the song was all about. I think it was like maybe 9 minutes long. It's a real long song, 8 or 9 minutes, something like that. And this just talks about some of the greatest black people, if you will, throughout American history. I remember seeing them perform that on TV, and I don't recall where. I almost feel like I recorded it off a cable somewhere, maybe PBS, I don't remember, but I had it on VHS tape for a while, and then it got stolen. But it was never released on vinyl until somebody bootlegged it. On the B side of the tape was a song by Curtis Blow called Famous First. So that cassette is like really, really rare. And I actually always wanted to find that cassette and have that song. And I actually ended up finding 2 copies of that cassette. One I got for a manageable price, and another one I paid up for that I ended up reselling for a lot more than I paid for. I think what did I buy? No, actually, I think I bought it for 40 bucks. Now that I think about it, the first one I think I paid less than 10 bucks. And the second one I think I paid 40 bucks, and I think I sold it for a couple hundred, if I remember correctly. Anyway, it's so nice that this is on vinyl. The B-side features Slow and Low. Yes, that's Slow and Low from the Beastie Boys, but it's a different beat completely, because RUN-DMC wrote that song and recorded the song. So the beat is just a kick and a snare, real stripped down, straight, just beats and rhymes. And there's just a few tweaks on the lyrics that fit the Beastie Boys. One that comes to mind, where the Beastie Boys say, White Castle fries only come in one size. Well, on this version it says, my name is DMC and I have 4 eyes, because he wears glasses or whatever. So it was a few little tweaks like that, but for the most part, the lyrics are pretty much the same as RUN-DMC wrote them. So this is a whole different version of that. Also featured on this record is a mega mix that is a Jam Master Jay tribute. So it's like a minute or 2 long, and it's just, a bunch of cutting and just kind of talking about Jam Master Jay, rest in peace. So yeah, this one, if you can find one, will cost you $100+. I wouldn't expect to, find one for less than 100. It's 200 copies. they're all gone. I mean, people aren't gonna let go too fast. But good luck finding one of these. This is that's a classic one right there to have. The next one, this is 2007. This is like an EP, I guess you could call it. It's 4 songs on here. This is DMC, Back from the Grave. The Legend Lives. And then it's just got this terrible looking, looks like something terrible happened or whatever. But then it kind of folds out like that. And then, you know, you got a more presentable DMC. This came out in 2017. This was a limited edition. I don't know how many were pressed, but my number is number 2320. If you can see that. I know I listened to this a while back, but I haven't listened to this in quite a while. There's 4 songs on here. Back from the Dead, Flames, High and Low, and then Coming Like a Rhino featuring Chuck D. So, you know, DMC and Run did some solo stuff. We're going to look at a few of those things. But, yeah. Have you ever seen that before? Did you even know that this was out? Probably not a lot of you have. Third one I want to show you. This is a cool one. You can find this just for a few bucks. This is a Pete Rock mega mix of Run-DMC songs. It's called Return of the Kings Mega Mix. So like for 5 minutes you got Pete Rock cutting up a whole bunch of classic Run-DMC songs, doing his Pete Rock thing. I really love the way they just kept that funky like that. But yeah, it's exactly what you think it is. Pete Rock shouting out this, that, or the other. I wish it was longer. I wish it was like an hour long, because he could have definitely kept going. But most of the stuff that he was cutting up was from the first 2 albums. I take that back. The first 3 albums, I think. Because I know Beats to the Rhymes is on there. Sucker MCs, Jam Master Jam, and there's a good maybe 10 songs, something like that he kind of runs through, give or take a couple. But yeah, really cool record. You should definitely check for that one. Like I said, it's not super rare and it's not expensive at all. Next up, let's look at another DMC solo record. This is Lovely Day, and this features Dougie Fresh. I believe this was 2006 that this one came out, and this is just like a real nice smoothed out joint. Got a female singing on the hook, Dougie Fresh doing his thing. Man, Dougie Fresh can't do no wrong as far as I'm concerned. One of my favorite rappers. This one is cool. Like I said, 2006 this came out. And yeah, just a average main version and instrumental and acapella. Pretty cool. Another one that's not gonna break your wallet at all. Check it out. Here's another one. I forgot. This must be, I think this is 2005. This is another DMC solo record. And it's about Jam Master Jay. It's simply titled Missing My Friend. And it's exactly what you would think it is. It's Jam Master Jay reminiscing about the group and Jay and all of the fun times that they had. You know, man, that was a bad time for me, man. When I found out Jay got killed, I was just like, it was a bad scene, a real bad scene. But rest in peace to Jam Master Jay. Now let's move on to a Rev Run solo song. This is called Sanctified. This is like a promo version of that. How many of you have seen this 12-inch? It's not on any it didn't come off of any album that I know about, but don't quote me on that, because he did do that one solo album where he had that song Mine on the Road. but I'm assuming a lot of you guys are familiar with that song. But this one, yeah, this one was all right. It was kind of, I don't know how to describe. It wasn't super exciting, but it was cool because it was Run, and Run is still spitting like he been spitting. So I like that, but it's more of a slower pace type of thing, more real mellow. You know what I mean? Nothing crazy. Now this next one I want to show you, I actually want to show you 3 different versions. This is interesting. This is actually not Run, not DMC, and not Jam Master Jay. This one is actually Justine Simmons, Run's wife, and she did a song called Praise My DJs. And there you have it with the picture sleeve version of it. If we turn it over on the back, you see them right there looking fly. I gotta be honest with you, I probably listened to this when I first got it, but I don't recall. I probably didn't listen to it actually, because I'll kind of explain on the next one that I show you. But when I saw this XYZ on here, I recognized that label as being one of the labels that would make like the DJ edits for like the most popular dance songs that were out like throughout the 90s or whatever. They would like they were made specifically, and they were mostly all compilations. They would just have like the hottest songs out at the moment, and they would just make them for DJs to mix. So they would add like a lot of like instrumental before the song would actually start, before the lyrics would come in, and then maybe in the middle or throughout parts of the song they would have more beats on there, instrumental beats, so that you could mix into it or whatnot. And then of course at the end they would give you plenty of time to mix, into the song or out of the song, whichever way you're going. So I was just like, and then if you see right there, Jason Neville remixes, which is, when I think Jason, or Nevins, I should say, when I think Jason Nevins, I think of the It's Tricky Jason Nevins versus Run-DMC song. I'm not a big house music person at all, and the house that I do like is I like the progressive soulful house, the R&B type house. Like that's the kind of house I like, and this was not, or the It's Tricky song was not that type of house. So I didn't rush to listen to this. Like I said, I don't remember if I listened to it or not. But there you have that, and here is actually a promo version of it. Let me turn this around like this. And this is the actual promo. It's a double album. Both of these are double albums, or double vinyl I should say, because it's just one song, and they got a crap load of remixes on here. So this one has the Jason Nevins meets Run Club mix, Robbie's Twisted Bangin' mix, Stoney's Boricua dub, Stonebridge Club mix, Alex J Praise mix, and Jason Nevins meets Run dub mix. All on this one, same thing as this one. Now, also, so we have this promo, and then I have this promo. So look at the way this label looks, and then check out how this label is slightly different. The font is slightly different, but this particular one has all different mixes from this one. So this one has the club mix, the orb mix, the DJ Spiller mix, the cyber radio mix, the dance floor mix, demo mix, Washington mix, and quality time mix. So hopefully some of these are like some straight rap beats on there, and not so much it's probably a bunch of dance and techno and house versions of it. I suppose at some point I will get around to listening to it, but hey, it's still in that Run DMC family, so it's got to go in the Daryl D collection regardless. All right, the next one I want to show you is a song called Bounce. And if you notice that, that's on the Geffen label. That's not Arista or Profile. And have you ever heard of Bounce? Anybody out there ever heard of Bounce? If you have, then you know where I'm going. If you haven't, Bounce was actually on the Beavis and Butthead movie soundtrack. So if you didn't own that soundtrack, you probably didn't know about this record. I remember playing this record once in some club a long time ago. And this was like, I guess, Run DMC's attempt, if you will, to sound like, like a hardcore West Coast gangster group, if you will. It definitely gives you some Eazy-E NWA vibes with the track or whatever. Yeah, it's all right. It's not a good look for Run DMC. It's just this West Coast beat. So, but again, I mean, check it out. Look it up and check it out or something, and tell me what you think about this version. Bounce. All right, we're down to the last one, number 10. This one is very exciting for me. So I'll put it back here, right, because you're not going to recognize it from way back there. I actually found this record. It is, I found it from a buddy of mine who lives right here in town. And he sold it to me for a super good price. This is one of those radio program records that they would just play on the radio. Promo version, sent straight to different radio stations. This one came out in 1988. It's called New View, New Programs. I guess that's the company or whatever that put it out. And it says for the broadcast week of October 31st, 1988. And there's a bunch of different songs and interviews, and there's 2 areas on this record where Run DMC is interviewed, and then they play one of the Run DMC songs, and I forgot which. I forgot which songs that they play on there. Let me give you a close up of that. I actually have not listened to this record as of yet. I bought this maybe a couple of months ago, and I was like searching. I was going through my Run DMC records, and I couldn't find it, and that's because I hadn't yet filed it away. So it was sitting amongst these records. You can't see, but I got records all over the floor down here, and it was in among those records. So I had to pull it out. So my man J Cut hooked me up with this really cool record. I love Run DMC. I love Run DMC vinyl, and the most exciting Run DMC vinyl, for me to find is any place where they're actually talking, interviews or things like that. Now, again, I want to bring up the video I did called my top 10 rarest Run DMC records, because there's a few records on there that's similar to this that are incredible. So make sure you go and check out that video and let me know what you think about, there's a two, but all those records that I show you are bananas. Some of them you might recognize. Some of them, I'm thinking most of them you probably won't. You probably will not. So let me know what you think. I don't know. All right, but these are 10 records where the average record collector, if they were going through my Run DMC collection, they would pull these out and be like, what is this? Where did this come from? Where did you get those? That's all I have for you. This is Daryl D. Thank y'all for hanging out, and I'll see you soon with another incredible video. You guys be safe. Peace.